Last time in the Gravitas Legacy, May, the Legacy founder, spent most of her time socializing and working on her aspiration. She even managed to find the woman she believes is the love of her life, Siobhan Fiers. After throwing a spanner in the works by saying that her high school boyfriend was going to propose, May and Siobhan decided to commit to one another, and Siobhan moved in. The morning after the two merged households, the rains continued to blanket the crumbling aisle, while Siobhan and May had breakfast. They chatted some over their food and then fell into their morning routines, which for Siobhan included jumping in some mud puddles outside, in high heels, like a lady. Since Siobhan came from a wealthy family and had brought some simoleons with her, it was time for a house remodel. I added another level and readjusted the layout. I wouldn't get too used to this house though, since I suspect I will be remodeling it again at some point. The house eventually had to be changed from a tiny house to a regular house, so we will be losing all of those sweet tiny house benefits. After the remodel was complete, the two ladies were working on their skills when Diego called. "Hey May, it's me. I'm going to that bar you recommended. Do you want to come with?" Since May hadn't actually been to the bar that she had recommended to Diego, she figured she should probably get out and do that, so she decided to join him at the bar. May set about happily making friends with everyone she was drinking with, including Leah. Like virtually everyone May ever meets, they didn't have the best chemistry, but they nevertheless began working on their friendship. Siobhan, meanwhile, invited over her club of friends from high school, including her ex-boyfriend Sergio. She confirmed with Sergio that there were no hard feelings over the breakup. Sergio mostly shrugged it off, since he had a raging crush sentiment for his roommate Joaquin Lachien. Siobhan decided to pass the reins of the Paragons over to Luna Villarreal, since she was a little too adult for a club that involved trying on clothes and gossiping about boys. After they left, Siobhan formed a new club for young professionals instead, a group of like-minded men and women devoted to getting promotions. May spent the night writing for her job and went to bed late. Once they were settled for the night, it was time for a bit of Cass. May is now in her mid to late 20s, and Siobhan is in her early 20s, so May got a more drastic makeover than Siobhan. I focused on keeping some of her quirky 70s-inspired style, but also added in some more professionalism and maturity. May has gained a bit of weight and looks wonderful with her shorter hair. Apparently approving of May's new look, Siobhan woke up with all of her whims focused on her girlfriend. She seems determined that the Watcher won't throw her out of playable life for someone more like Ulrike. Unable to fulfill her whims with May slumbering away, Siobhan went downstairs for breakfast and to call a repairman for their broken toilet. May woke up wanting to make more friends, since she is happily getting whims to make my life easier, and I locked it in for her to work on over the next couple of days. While trying to talk about possibly adopting a child over breakfast, May got the news that she had just been promoted to restaurant critic. All that lying about bar recommendations had paid off. Both women headed to work, having just barely touched on the adoption subject, and a few hours into her workday, Siobhan noticed something strange going on. When she was going over some routine expense reports, she noticed some lines that didn't seem to match. It looked like one of the executives was laundering money. Some people. Siobhan turned over the reports, convinced it was the right thing to do. And it was, really, but she was fired nevertheless. Devastated, she came home and decided to take comfort in the vampire tome she had bought on the internet. As you do. She then spent the rest of the day crying in bed. As an ambitious sim, losing her job was truly heartbreaking. When May came home, it was to find Siobhan and her father Dominic having a discussion about Siobhan's prospects. Dominic was himself a stand-up comedian, so he couldn't entirely understand his daughter's love of business. He was supportive, nevertheless, and got along famously with both May and Siobhan. Diego, who had come home from work with May, mostly ignored them all and scoped out the new house, likely digging into the medicine cabinets and judging their toiletry brands. I'm going to find an awesome new job. Just you wait, Siobhan said, determined. Robots, monsters, filing, whatever it is, I'll succeed at it. Not too much later, Siobhan's mother Moira called, asking whether she should try for another baby. Because when your daughter is going through a crisis, why not add more to the problem heap? Mom, you're like 50, Siobhan said. Isn't Morgan enough trouble already? No. Just feel lucky you're not aging at the moment since the Watcher isn't playing you. Oh, pit beast, is she going to play you? Is this going to turn into a rotational save? Blink twice if you feel played life coming at you. Siobhan's new career was going to be law, since she was definitely opinionated and very outspoken about those opinions. She would never let any sim get away with money laundering again, and as a process server, she would be on her way to reach her goals. Life wound ever forward. May researched potential children to adopt, and they had a cozy family dinner with the Fires to tell them about the upcoming new edition. Siobhan talked May up to all of her family to try to bring them all closer together. The day before Harvest Fest, May was promoted to food stall frequenter. Her onset of itchy plum bob, though, and her preoccupation with the child she would be picking up that evening, kept her from really enjoying the news. The upcoming baby and her itches were more important. Siobhan was working on her yoga when May went off to pick up little Valentine, a beautiful male object baby. The nursery was decorated quickly, almost as if build and buy mode was just a click away, and a tiger-striped and sick May rocked Valentine happily. Meanwhile, Siobhan decided she adored her little son before she had even touched him. That night, though, she fed him in his new nursery, perfectly content. Their every whim revolved around him, besides the ones they had for each other. On Harvest Fest, over a delicious grand breakfast with the entire family, Valentine aged up into a happy orange toddler. As I made an executive decision that being blonde with red eyebrows and orange skin was unlikely, I made a few quick tweaks so that he looked a little more genetically possible. Little Valentine Gravitas rolled as an angelic toddler. His favorite color was blue, and with a few quick additions, his room was fit for a toddler. Glitched halfway into the wall, he settled in with his blocks for the night while his mom snoozed. If you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. The Solar System Legacy is posted most Tuesdays, but will not be posted next week due to the release of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Please check out my other videos and let me know about anything you're interested in seeing in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day. Bye!